Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halam La Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Machakadash, Yahweh being the true and powerful mighty name of who the world ignorantly calls God. Bashim means in the name. Yahweh Shai is the true and powerful mighty name of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, and Rakakadash is the Holy Spirit. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who I learned this truth from. Peace, blessings, safety, and salutation to the hopeful elect, to you believers and listeners out there that came back to the faith and obedience of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. And much love and respect to you brothers, pushing this gospel in sincerity and truth. Come back at you with another lesson. Going into this article I read this morning. It's from Insider.com, and it was posted yesterday. And it's going into Will Smith says the way Jada Pinkett Smith loved Tupac rendered me incapable of being friends with him. All right. So as many as y'all know, the situation between Will Smith and Jada. She pretty much has this man nuts in her purse, and she's running all over him. It's not how things are supposed to be. So let's go and get into this lesson. Will Smith said that he was so jealous of Jada Pinkett Smith's love for Tupac Shakur that he was incapable of befriending the rapper. Though they were never intimate, their love for each other is legendary. They defined ride or die, Smith wrote of Pinkett Smith and Shakur in chapter 13 of his self-titled memoir released on Tuesday. Smith met Pinkett Smith in the 90s. At the time, he was married to Cherie Zampino, and the couple shared a son named Trey Smith. Upon speaking with Jada at a lounge for hours, Smith knew that he was in a relationship with the wrong person. He and Zampino divorced in 1995, 5 days after Smith received the divorce papers. He called Pinkett Smith, and they began quietly dating. The couple got married in December 1997. In his memoir, Smith said that his mind was tortured by Pinkett Smith's close platonic relationship with Shakur, who was her classmate at Baltimore School for the Arts. Smith described the late rapper as someone who was fearless and had a willingness to fight and die for what he believed was right. He triggered the perception of myself as a coward. The I Am Legend star said, I hated that I wasn't what he was in the world, and I suffered a raging jealousy. I wanted Jada to look at me like that. So he said he suffered a raging jealousy. Well, the scriptures say, this is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 34. For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore, he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest him many gifts. Okay, so, it was only right for him to have, that rage and jealousy because, the way his so-called wife loved Tupac is how she was supposed to love him, Will. Okay. When Jada and I committed to each other, and the demands of our relationship made her less available to Pac, my immature mind took it as a twisted kind of victory, Smith added. Jada was the paragon, the pinnacle, the queen of queens. If she chose me over Tupac, there was no way I could be a coward. I have rarely felt validated. Smith, who was in his late 20s at the time, said that he lacked the maturity to embrace Tupac as a friend. I was in a room with Tupac on multiple occasions, but I never spoke to him. The actor said, the way Jada loved Pac rendered me incapable of being friends with him. I was too immature. I don't call that being mature. You was just protecting your relationship because, that would have, if they would have befriended each other, that would have made time for his wife and this man to spend more time with each other, and who knows what would have happened. And though she says it's not intimate, that's what she says. But of course, a woman is going to, deny any allegations to make herself look bad. Okay, her and Tupac probably did mess around a few times, but hey, that's just me speaking as a man. Back to the article. Smith shared similar comments about how he reacted to Jada and Shakur's friendship during an interview with the Breakfast Club in 2020. The actor said that he was deeply insecure and that his jealousy was a big regret. Jada reflected on her relationship with Shakur, who was shot to death in September 1996 during an episode of her Facebook Watch series Red Table Talk. "We were anchors for each other," Pickens Smith said, referring to their dynamic as a complex relationship. Okay, so that's the end of that article. So, you already read Proverbs 6:34, for jealousy is the rage of a man. Okay, so let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 25. I'm going to start at verse 16. "I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman." And, Jada Pinkett Smith is a wicked woman, man. Having it, messing around while she's still married to her husband. According to the ancient world, after her husband divorced her, she'll have to wait till his death to be able to, be under a new man. Okay? But, we don't live in that type of world anymore. People just disregard the laws of the Bible. Okay, verse 17, "The wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly." And, if you look at that picture, let me see if it'll pull back up, that picture of Will Smith. Come on, man. You can look at it, you can see the demons on him, and you can tell he's going through it, man. All because of that wicked woman. "All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged." And trying to climb up a sandy slope, the sand is unstable, and you constantly slipping. So imagine it with a aged or elderly person trying to do it. "So a wife full of words to a quiet man. Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach." And that's her. "A wicked woman abateth the courage." Okay. Will Smith said that, he felt cowardly. Okay. Let's look up that word abateth real quick. To decrease in force or intensity, to become defeated or null and void, to decrease in amount of value. Okay. So a wicked woman decreases the courage, make it a heavy countenance and a wounded heart. And all that describes that man, Will Smith. "A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees." And, she tried to justify her actions instead of, trying to be there for her husband. Okay? Clearly showing that this woman is wicked as hell. "Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go." And that's what we'll need to do, man. Like, she's clearly not going as thou would have her. So you just need to cut her off. And, keep it pushing, man. Your happiness is worth more than a woman, a wicked woman at that. So this is First Ezra, chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 22. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. Do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman? And this is going into the account where his 3 wise men was, trying to tell the king which was the strongest. And this particular wise man said that the women were. And I want to say the first one was, I think he said gold and silver. Okay. Yeah, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the sea and upon rivers, and looketh upon a lion and goeth in the darkness. And when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yeah, many there be that have run out their wits for women, and became servants for their sakes. And that's Will Smith right there. He done ran out his wits behind this woman, and he became her servant. Because if he was in his right mind, he would have been left. Okay. Verse 27. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women. And now, do ye not believe me? Is not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him? Yet did I see him in Apame, the king's concubine, the daughter of the admiral Bardacus, sitting at the right hand of the king, and taking the crown from the king's head and setting it upon her own head. She also struck the king with her left hand. And that's, back in that time, that was the ultimate sign of disrespect, to take the crown off the king's hand and to hit him at that. Okay? And this is a woman that did that. This wasn't even his wife. This was a concubine, a lesser wife. And yet for all this, the king gaped and gazed upon her with open mouth. If she laughed upon him, he laughed also. But if she took any displeasure at him, the king was fain to flatter that she might be reconciled to him again. And that's, pretty much how majority of these men are. If a woman is mad at them, they'll sit there and, pretty much kiss her ass so that she'll be reconciled onto him again. Bunch of weak, spineless men. Okay? So, hey man, we have to remember ourselves as men. Okay? We got to remember ourselves as men. We can't be giving our strength over to a woman. And that's what I'm going to close with. This is Proverbs chapter 31, verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. And, that account that I just got, the concubine taking the crown off the king's head and hitting him, that destroyed the king because he did nothing about it. And I'm pretty sure, a lot of people around seen that, and they seen that shows weakness. Okay? And then if you, show any signs of weakness, that, shows that you could be taken down. Okay? So give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. All right? So this was just a quick little lesson through the Spirit. I pray that it was edifying. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rachak Radash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from. And please, blessing, safety, and salutation unto the hopeful elect, to you believers and listeners out there that came back into the faith and obedience of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And much love and respect unto you, brothers, pushing this gospel in sincerity and in truth. Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, and the Bible Ball. Shalom.